I'm not seeing any other questions and seeing that I am pushing time a little bit. I'll go ahead and introduce Caroline. Caroline's been with us for about 2 years now. She's coming up on that 2-year mark. And I mentioned that we are a grant-funded program. We have money through USDA APHIS Plant Protection and Quarantine for the Georgia First Detector Program. Because we have that funding, we can afford to have Caroline working with folks in Georgia and going out and doing outreach and extension with them for invasive species. And so she's going to cover what our programs are for outreach and support.
Thank you, Joe, for that introduction. Like he said, I'm going to be going over outreach and support today, so let's go ahead and jump into outreach first. For the past 30 years, Bugwood has strived to be an active member of our community through outreach. We do this by presentations, for example. We can have presentations sort of like this summit where we go out and talk about the tools that we have and how they can be used by you and help assist you. We also can put on trainings. For example, we can go out with a group and they can have the EdMaps app in the palm of their hand on their cell phone, and we're right there with them in order to guide them through the reporting process and help them solve any issues that they might come into contact with. We also have community-driven outreach. So we go to public events, and many people in the public don't know that invasive species exist. And so we go, we tell them what an invasive species is, and we also tell them that they can help in the fight against invasive species and pests. This may be through reporting, this may be through not spreading invasive plants and planting native plants if they can. We also attend conferences, trainings, and meetings. We may present at those events, but we also like to sit back, attend, meet new people in this industry, and learn new things from experts that are around us. One form of outreach that we have is the Georgia First Detectors program. Like Joe said, this is where majority of my funding comes from. The goal of this program is to create a network of dedicated volunteers and people who just want to protect Georgia's native landscape. And they can do this by detecting and reporting invasive species. This program can be curated to whatever you and your group wants. If you want a whole day-long training where we talk about plants, animals, bugs, invasive species in your area, we can talk about tools that we have, we can go outside, whatever best fits your group, let's make a program that fits you. We can also invite speakers, experts in their own field to come in and speak. Here we have a speaker in the left-hand photo. He's from the Georgia Forestry Commission, and he came out and spoke to us about invasive species that are invasive plants that are common in North Georgia. If you can't have a whole day, that's fine. We can shorten it to half a day. If you have a group who doesn't want to go outside, we can stay inside and just do presentations. If you only have a couple of hours, we'll make it work and we will do whatever presentation best fits your group, and that way they enjoy it and they can learn something. We also use social media as an educational tool. We have two main social media campaigns. The first one is Bugwood, and the Bugwood social media focuses on updates from our programs, outreach that we've done, updates to our really cool tools, and also informational graphics and videos. Then we have WildSpotter is our other campaign. This provides updates on what WildSpot is up to, what our ambassadors are up to, spotlighting new places whenever they're added, and also tips and tricks for whenever you visit a wild place, how can you help that wild place in the fight against invasive species? The next outreach that we have is our Invasive Species Extension newsletter. This is only sent out to UGA Extension members, and what it does is it highlights different invasive species, and they're curated to fit that time of year. So you can see here in March 2026, we highlight calorie pair. Why? Because that's when it's blooming. So that's when majority of the people can identify calorie pair. Now, with that, we provide photos, fact sheets, articles, information that we have to support the education about calorie pair in this example. Also, when you scroll down the newsletter, you're able to see any updates we have. So if we have an update to connect, we have a cool new tool that's added, that update can be found in our newsletter sometimes. If you want to look at any of our previous issues, you can go to gainvasives.org/resources. Our next outreach is our Invasive Species Ambassador Program. This is a collaboration between Wild Spotter, which is one of our tools here at Bugwood, and Invasives Free USA. The goal of this program is to emphasize the human component of reporting invasive species. The goal of Wild Spotter is that it's a citizen science campaign. It's to get volunteers and visitors to a wild place, which can be something as small as your local park, all the way up to something humongous, like a national park. It's just a set area that we want to protect from invasive species and pests. And so we get those visitors and volunteers involved. They have an app in their hand and they're able to spot and report whenever they spot an invasive. This assists land managers because then they don't have to go out and spot it. They're able to take these reports as they come in, and that helps them guide control and restoration efforts. Hopefully, it takes some work off of their shoulders. Participants in this specific ambassadors program will gain tools to help them lead their own campaigns when they go back to their wild places. So whether they work for a city and they're protecting multiple city parks, they have tools now in their pocket so they can help lead a wild spotter campaign in their area. Do you want to become a wild spotter ambassador? Well, you can. We have another training coming up in 2027. It is from February 2nd through the 4th, and it takes place in Lake Gunnersville State Park, Alabama. Applications open in spring, so if you want to apply, there is a QR code at the bottom of your screen, and that will take you to our website that talks more about the ambassador program. You can also go to invasivesfree.org/ambassadors. That's that same website. You can learn more about the program, you can apply for it, but if you have questions, you can also just contact us, and we'll be able to talk you through the program and what you may learn. So that was some of the outreach that we do, and next I want to get into our many support channels. As you've heard today, we have a lot of tools, and we don't want to just hand you those tools and then walk away. We want to help you as you use them and guide you in your best way to use them. So what are those many channels that we have? The first one is simply email us. You can email us at bugwood@uga.edu, and your email will go to our communications director, Debbie Mumford. She spoke earlier about Connect. And when she gets that email, she picks which team member of our group of 14 that we have who can best answer your question. Whether you need to speak to a developer or you need to speak with our director himself or our communications team, she will get you in contact with the person who's able to help you. Another channel that we have is found within our apps, and that's our feedback button. This button is really cool because it kind of streamlines the process of assisting you with whatever bug or issue that you have, because that button sends helpful information to the developer, such as what version phone you have and what app version that you have to see if it needs to be updated. And you don't have to answer those difficult questions. They have the information and maybe they can kind of already be able to answer your question. Next, we have Bugwood office hours. Joe mentioned this is a great opportunity for you to ask questions and for us to be there to answer them. Kind of like our Q&A sessions we've been having, that's what office hours are. They take place every other Friday from 1 to 3, and they're a great opportunity to have a one-on-one with our team. You can register at bugwood.org/office-hours. And whenever you register, you can put in the question or the issue that you're having. We see, oh, so-and-so has a question about this. Okay, we'll make sure we have all the team members in office hours in order to help you whenever you get to office hours, we're able to answer your question. If you need to be walked through something, office hours is also a great opportunity for that. We actually have office hours tomorrow. So if you see a tool here that you want to use and you're really gung-ho and want to get started and ask us questions, just stop by office hours. If you've used, let's say, EdMaps before and you've had some issues and want to know how to troubleshoot your issues, office hours are always there to help you. Next, we're going to talk about our support services that are found within the website. Rebecca mentioned that I talk about some cool stuff that we have going on, and so we'll get into that. The first one we have is on Knowledge Base. The way that you find our Knowledge Base is by going to the EdMaps website and select the training button that's at the top. I have it circled in red here. When you've done that, you go from the EdMaps website into the EdMaps knowledge base, where you can find different sections of EdMaps material. So if you have a question for us, you can always go to the button that says Need to Raise a Request at the bottom of the screen, and you can send us a question about technical support if you need to report a bug, or if you have an improvement, we'd love to hear it. When you send us those questions, it goes to our EdMaps support desk. If you click on any of those sections, so you're in the EdMaps knowledge base. So that means you have information about the EdMaps app, the website, EdMaps Pro. You can click on those sections, and there is a series of articles there that you can look through that hopefully will be able to answer questions for you. For example, let's say you want to know, should I use the EdMaps app or the EdMaps Pro app? Go to the EdMaps knowledge base, click on the EdMaps app section, and scroll until you can find our article about that subject. I've taken a screenshot right here of that article, and there's much more to it. There's a chart in there to help you decide. So each article is very comprehensive in order to best answer your question. Our second on the website support service that we have, Rebecca mentioned this, is our new help widget. And when you're on the website, like the EdMaps website, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you will see a green circle with a white question mark, and that is the widget. When you select it, it pops up, and you're able to type in the beginnings of a question or a keyword, and the widget will search through that knowledge base to try to find an article to best answer your question. So we'll go over some examples. Let's say you want to know how to put down a point in EdMaps Pro. You could use the keyword point and type that in. You could start typing in your question, and the widget will search through that knowledge base and find your articles. Now, what happens if we don't have an article that answers your question? Then you'll just go to the bottom, that technical support button, and you'll reach out to us and we'll help you solve your problem. And you might be right. We might need to make an article about that subject. Let's say you need to report a bug. You're having an issue with your EdMaps app. You can type in that keyword bug and boom, report a bug. That button pops up and you're able to report that to us. We've had a lot of cool updates to just to be able to support you correctly and answer your questions. But where are we going to go with all of this? We want to continue to support you. And that helpful widget that I mentioned and the knowledge base that has all of those articles are going to go to many different websites, slowly but surely. Those include our content systems, so IPM Resource Database, Bugwood Video, Bugwood Images, and Bugwood Presents will all get that widget and knowledge base that fits each website, along with Connect, WildSpotter, and Ag Pest Monitor. We are here to support you. When you're using our tools, we want to be able to help you along the way, support you, and answer your questions. So, speaking of questions, Michaela, I think we are entering another Q&A.
We certainly are. Currently, we don't have any questions. So we'll give that just a moment while I keep an eye on that. So it is time for a break. So seeing how we've managed to run a little bit behind throughout the summit, we're going to take a shorter break. This time we're going to take about a 3-minute break and start back at 4:45, which is great timing because we don't have any questions at this point. So I'll see everybody back in 3 minutes at 4:45 Eastern.
And while some people are going to break, some people might stick around. So in the spirit of people sticking around, I want to say thank you. We have noticed that a few people have submitted some photos for the image database while they've been attendees for our webinar today. So just thank you to those of you who've done that. I've also been going through some of the existing photos that need some data entry. And we're going to work on those as we are able to. One of the staff members who is not presenting today, but is very much part of our team. She's been helping us with image data entry the last year or so. And so we're going to make sure that she has plenty to do for the next few weeks. So thank you to those of you who are attending today and contributing in any way that works for you.